To fly with the birds. Come as close as we can to the mystery of their migrations. One day, perhaps, fly with them over the oceans, the mountains, the deserts. And why not, in the midst of their flight, see the earth from up above differently? The teams of the winged migration ranged the planet for nearly 4 years. Film crews, certainly, but also ornithologists, pilots, aircraft experts, and technicians. More than 400 people, all getting as close as they can to the birds as they skim over land and water, before joining them in the airy vastness of their element, the sky. In July 1998, on the island of Skrudur, a wildlife sanctuary south of Iceland, our shooting begins. No fixed shots. Our cameras must be free to move at will. This means hauling masses of heavy equipment by hand. To reach this barren rock 30 minutes from the mainland, we have to cross the open sea. Our adventure has begun.
We had a strong wind the day after we arrived, but not since then. There was a tremendous gale yesterday, but it wasn't blowing into the cliffs, so it didn't hinder the birds.
Birds are not like humans. They feel no vertigo. They have no fear of the void. We aspire to be like them, weightless. To be able to dive off these cliffs and glide through the air, carried on the wind. Meanwhile, in the Calvados district of Normandy in France, our future companions are being born. In the 1930s, as part of his work on animal behavior, Konrad Lorenz developed the concept of imprinting. This great Austrian naturalist and Nobel Physiology Prize winner made himself the foster father of dozens of baby geese. Imprinting is the process of transferring parenthood. While the chicks are still in their eggs, we start talking to them, forging a bond with the person who will be their constant. Man's oldest dream come true. The idea of the traveling birds we owe to him. Konrad Lorenz's imprinting technique was not known to work with species other than geese. Whereas we want to fly not young veterinary students and biologists are recruited, some through the unemployment office, to keep our birds company night and day. To live with the birds, sleep, run, swim, and eventually fly with them. To listen to There must be absolute trust between the birds and their imprinters. To help their protégés recognize them from far away, they wear yellow jackets. They honk horns all the time to tell the birds where to gather.
Hop, 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 hop. Allez. Hop, 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 hop.
Jean Dorst, Guy Jarry, and Francis Roux, all from the Paris Museum of Natural History, signed on as our scientific advisors. With their help, we picked the best species to imprint, the best migration routes to follow, More than ever, true teamwork is of the essence. The ultralight pilot has to accommodate the cameraman's bulky equipment, which goes against the principles of flying. The cameraman has to adjust to the aircraft's unpredictable movements as the birds keep changing direction, and the imprinters and filmmakers have to respect the birds' natural behavior.
On va avoir le temps de bien les voir passer comme étant dans une petite clairière là. Ça va Laurent?
Parce que là, ils ont chaud. Hein. Allez, mon gros. Bah oui, mon aussi.
What will happen when we're in the sky, above the clouds? What if our birds fly off into the wild blue yonder? We'll worry about that when the time comes. The time for doubting is past. The answer will come when we're high above the Arctic ice fields, the Amazon rainforest, or big city skyscrapers.
Yes, Lily, yes. Oh, it's not Lily.
We finally graduate from the training fields. To start with, we make trial runs, testing all our ingenious flying machines over every conceivable terrain. How will our birds react when they first see the sea? This time, after hedge hopping with us along the Normandy coast, our flock of barnacled geese take off on their own. After hours of searching, they were found in the center of town on a police station parking lot. The two-seater powered parachute is about to take off. There's no hiding the nervousness of the cameraman and pilot. Taking off from this muddy field, they look like a pair of waddling albatrosses. But this is the only flying machine that can turn sharply enough to film the geese with their particular flight pattern. To make their long migrations, they search for thermals and wind themselves around them to climb high in the sky. By now, more than 100 of us are working on the film. Little do we know that we're embarking on 3 years of shooting, that the production will involve over 500 people, including 12 pilots and 3 film directors, backed up by 15 camera operators, and that 6 teams all working full-time.
Well, good work, guys.
When the 200 crew members of the French warship Loire watched us come aboard with a squadron of
There, just there, 50 meters away.
An hour later, they come back. They land gingerly like helicopters, adjusting to the ship's pitch and roll. On the other side of the world, in India, in the Bharatpur Nature Reserve, a former hunting ground of Maharajas, a film crew penetrates the territory of the ibis, egret, kingfisher, and pelican. To observe them, the camera and sound crews have to blend We have our script continuity. We're making a film that is neither fiction nor documentary, just a natural tale. In the United States, in the Adirondack Mountains of upstate New York, we patiently reconstruct a scene of Canada goose hunting. There's a hurricane alert. The weather suddenly gets worse. We have to seize our chance to capture these fleeting moments of rain, wind, and snow, regardless of our shooting schedule. see if the weather is good enough. It's also his job to see that the camera is getting the right shots, to follow the birds if they fly off track, and, if necessary, to guide our camera bearing ultralight to an emergency landing site, because flying like birds over forests and mountains involves real danger. Birds can land anywhere, but forced landings are a different matter for our ultralights.
George, there is 20 birds, you can count them?
This time, we're on the roof of the world. How will our bar-headed geese behave at this altitude? How will they react? We're anxious. But let's not forget they fly over the Himalayas at more than 9,000 meters high in temperatures below 45 degrees Celsius and winds of over 100 kilometers an hour. Other problems arise.
They refuse to eat.
The pelicans are sick. We have to act fast. In the wilds of northern Senegal, emergencies are even more nerve-wracking.
Jean! Hi, this is Yannick. How are you? So, well, I'm calling to give you an update. We got the lab results, the birds. Two things. They caught a coccidy, something like a parasite.
The crew on the spot are stuck. The rainy season is approaching, but they have to bide their time. Crabs and pelicans share space on the beaches. We improvise a new sequence.
Non. C'est carrément différent du mafé.
Calm down, calm down, calm down. Try to swallow.
Life is back in control. Good news about the shoots comes in from around the world.
Oh, the snow geese are fine. That's good. Well...
Oui. D'accord, bon, bah tant mieux.
The pelicans slowly recover their strength. But Senegal still has a few bad surprises in store. A gale almost rips away everything built on the site. A few days later, an amphibious ultralight misjudges its takeoff and crashes.
Yannick, il arrive. Une belle enfilade.
Our aim is to raise ourselves above the canopy of this gigantic jungle.
Okay, thank you. Go back to your conference. Thank you very much.
Ça va pas, hein. Ça va. Donne ça corta ça, ça va. Super vue, hein. Par contre, il va falloir bouger la mort. Moi j'y vais. Bon, j'ai tout, hein, c'est sûr. Hein. Ciao.
Oh, Christophe, yes, there is fog inside the lens. And, well, I don't know what to do.
The equipment held up in Saigon never arrived. We have to rig up dolly tracks with whatever we can find. Some villagers act as a counterweight for our system. We dreamed of a shot of swans coming in from behind the paddy fields and swerving in front of the camera, just as an ibis perched on an old-fashioned cart driven by a boy goes by. And it worked. Strange rapport with the pelicans. Of Mount Kilimanjaro. America, the land of film legend, westerns, and road movies.
You got all four?
What?
You gonna loosen up all four?
Yeah, I'm loosening them up.
Allez, moteur.
Run camera. Stand by. Stand by. Cages. Move it.
In order to film on Native American land, we first need permission from the Indian Reservation Council.
When you're ready, Dominic. Hit it when you like.
Même configuration. Et en 300 et 250. Ouais. Mais en pellicule, pourquoi? Regardez comme c'est joli là-bas.
Regarde sa tête, et regarde ma puce.
Ça tourne. Envoyez les oies.
In Monument Valley on the Navajo reservations, the entire history of Western filmmaking looms over us.
Elles sont à droite. Elles tournent.
Terminé.
The sun goes behind it, so there's no more light. We got it once with this light, and we'll have to redo it with the blue sky.
The Birdwatchers internet news groups have come through. Bill Lishman, the first man ever to fly with geese, joins us in New York. He will be piloting the monitoring ultralight. It took months of negotiations with the United States authorities to obtain permission to fly in Manhattan's congested airspace. What is more, flying conditions must be good on the crucial day. We have to wait 40 days before our Canada geese fly over the legendary skyline. A flock of wild geese flies down the East River, heading south. Our birds see them, hear them, and join them. After more than 15 minutes, we fear we've lost them. After flying past the Statue of Liberty, they turn around and come back to us. They weren't ready for such a long trip. Getting permission to overfly New York City in an ultralight was a long, laborious process, but in the end we got it. In Paris, it was impossible. We wanted to fly past the Eiffel Tower at a height from which we could film the city. We had to make do with a boat on the river. Space is getting short under the arches of Paris's bridges. We have to act fast. The Seine is rising, and the statue on the Alma Bridge is up to its knees in water.
Moi j'aimais bien ça.
The shooting is coming to an end. 4 years of traveling, over 400 kilometers of film in the can, 240 hours of screen time, and now it's time to edit, while also preparing to shoot the final scenes in two starkly contrasting surroundings, the desert and the Antarctic. Crozet in the howling 50s. 5 days sailing in rough seas brought us to this remote little island in the Indian Ocean, where we now have to wait 2 months for the next supply ship. In these southern islands, the albatrosses have finally arrived. Spring 2001. At we've been through to make the film, 2 months in the country for less than 1 minute in the final cut.
Allez, allez, bonhomme. Allez, on vole. Allez.
Allez, vol.
Our adventure is over.
Toi avec
When he finished his research, Konrad Lorenz realized that the birds had influenced him as much as he had influenced them. In the words of the poet Nguyen Kakyu, in our next lifetime, we'll take care not to be humans. We'll be two wild geese, flying high in the sky. The blinding snows, the seas and waters, the mountains and clouds, the red dusts of the world. From far above we shall see them, as though we had never fallen.